Hello, Brian Vietzke, and I'm here to talk about the second step to the sales process that all of us have been trained. And most of us have been called the interview or the qualify stage or whatever verbiage or whatever word he was taught to you to use, that this is a step to the sale. I prefer to look at it as identify and create a need, problem, or desire. Because let's face it, anybody that's coming in to see your store is coming to purchase a vehicle based on a desire, based on a problem, or based on a need that has come up in their life. And yeah, it's one thing for us to identify what those needs, problems, or desires are, but it's another thing to build on them and then create more of a sense of urgency based on whatever that need, problem, or desire may be. Now here is the challenge and the behavior habit that I've seen evolve out of salespeople when it comes to this step to the process. And I'm gonna hit Jeffrey Gitomer up again, and I'm gonna tell you that this guy, in my opinion, from everything I've ever heard, nails it when he said, people hate to be sold, but they love to buy. A consumer's reasons why they buy are the reasons behind a yes or a no. And it's your ability to discover those reasons why they want to buy something that will separate you from your competition. Now, explain the difference. I have, again, witnessed many of occasions and many different training seminars where salespeople are taught what we need to know and what questions to ask customers. And they are no different from any other dealership that's out there. Because the basic reason is when you, as a salesperson, leave that desk and you go talk to your sales manager to get your deal structured, there are certain things we need to know. We need to know about their trade-in. We need to know how much money do they owe. We need to know what bank did they go through. We need to know how much money they're putting down. We need to know what are their payment expectations. And those are the things that are simple things that you're going to go back to your manager and ask. The problem is, those are the things that you need to know to sell the customer. None of them are designed to help discover why they buy. Even if you ask the questions as what is it that you liked about your previous vehicle, I'm sorry, the automotive industry has become very, very competitive. The idea that your previous car had power locks, power windows, and had a lot of power is irrelevant today because people's buying motives are changing. People may sit there and say that they like the fuel efficiency or they hated the fuel efficiency. We all went through this cash for clunkers time where people were trying to get better gas mileage, and they'd go from a car that was getting 9 miles per gallon and they wanted to jump to the extreme of getting something that got 43 miles per gallon. I know I'm not the only one that saw that. So why would you go from the extreme of 9 miles per gallon to the extreme of 43 miles per gallon? What's wrong with 20 miles per gallon? But because nobody was designed to ask questions as to how their everyday life is or what moves them, so what I would really encourage you to do is to ask the reasons what helps a customer make the decision to buy. And I will give you myself for an example. I'm a young father of 4. I have 4 young children. My oldest at this point is 9. All right, my twins are 7, and my youngest is 5. 3 boys, 1 girl. Obviously, my children are going to grow. Now, my question to you is this my everyday vehicle? How far do I drive every day to work? Is it important for me to save money on gas, or is it important that this vehicle is what takes me and my family to trips? Is this the vehicle that's going to get my children to school every day? Is this going to be the everyday car that I expect to keep my family safe? Is this going to be the vehicle that I expect just to get me to and from work as a secondary car? Does this vehicle need to be able to take on my 4 kids and an additional person? How important is safety to me? What is my very definition of safety? I can tell you what, a single guy who's all about hot rodding around, his definition of safety can be very general. My definition of safety when I've got 4 young children is a whole lot more different than his definition. All of us make decisions based on some emotional buying motives, whether it is performance, fuel economy, safety, comfort, convenience, design, style. The problem is if I ask any one of you out there to define one of those terms, it's a very, very broad statement. Safety. Well, it's something that's features that put on a car that protect me when we've been in an accident. Pretty broad statement. Why is safety important to you? How do you define value? Those are emotional questions, and those are questions that are different than everybody else. So the guy that really dives into sales is going to teach you to sit there and say, ask different questions. Ask smart questions. Ask questions in a different format than the other guy. Ask a question that will force the consumer to think a little bit differently than they would beforehand. because you have to remember we've trained the consumer what to do when they've come to a dealership. They've made the decision to look past all the information they've got online. They've walked away from the phone call that they had with your appointment coordinator, and now they're sitting down with a salesperson. And this customer that's sitting in front of you, you need to make sure that they send people to you. You need to make sure that they come back to you. So to do the same traditional things that they've been experiencing for 20 plus years and is no different than the next guy is not going to get you referrals, loyalty. You have to be different. You have to be better. You have to leave an impression. And I can tell you, to follow the same traditional questions that help you design a deal isn't going to help you get there. So really, grab a pen and paper. Dive into asking questions that will help you discover why performance is important, what safety means to them, how do they define value, why is comfort important, what is the definition of convenience to them, how are they going to use their vehicle when they have it. Get into those questions and really, really ask them. It's what's going to separate you from the next guy and really define your career. It's what's going to make a difference of a job versus a career. So get into those questions. All right, and if you have any comments, if you have any creative questions that you've used in the past, please comment, share them, let us know. I'm all ears. I'm not saying I've got all the answers. I'm not saying that I've got all the questions on there, but I can tell you, read books. There's plenty of books out there that people tell you what to do. Leave comments, jump on blogs, jump on salesgravy.com. There's plenty of people out there that will share with you, okay? Look for this information. It's helpful. My next segment of video is going to be walking the reason why a service presentation is important. Okay? I hope to talk to you soon. Thank you.